Hi guys. Wow, this feels weird. Okay, we're going to get started. You ready for children's church? Here we go. Okay, we're going to have story time tonight. Okay, we're going to read from Storytime with the Millers. Our story comes with a Bible verse. I'm going to read it first. Okay, Proverbs 28, verse 20. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. Okay. Now time for our story. Timmy is responsible. Dad, may I have a rabbit? Asked Timmy. I want a rabbit of my own to keep in that old hutch behind our shed. This was not the first time Timmy had asked his parents to let him keep a rabbit, but they always said he was too young. A rabbit is a real live animal, Dad said now. It would need to be fed and cared for every day. If you forgot, your rabbit would suffer. Oh, I wouldn't forget to take care of my rabbit, Timmy said. I could give it feed and water every day. Dad looked across the yard. Out there is your wagon again, he said sadly. You forgot to bring it in again, and now it is almost dark. You left some of your toys out in the yard, too. Timmy hung his head. He knew Dad was right. He had a habit of leaving his wagon and other toys wherever he had played with them. Why hadn't he remembered to bring them in before supper? Slowly he went out to get them. Maybe if I would always put my things away, Dad would let me have a rabbit, he thought. In the days that followed, Timmy often thought of the rabbit he wanted. He tried hard to put his things away without being told. Soon it was no longer so hard to remember. Putting things away had become a habit. Winter came. Timmy played out in the snow a lot. It was too cold or too wet. When it was too cold or too wet to play outside, he played in the house with his little sister Laura. He didn't think about asking for a rabbit now. Spring came. Timmy helped Dad plow the garden. Then a nice warm day came and Mama wanted to plant the garden. She was in a hurry. I want to plant potatoes, peas, lettuce, and onions before it rains again, she said. Timmy, you will have to take care of Laura for me. You can play with her in the yard and in the sandbox, but you must watch her all the time so she doesn't get into trouble. If anything happens, you can call me, but you are responsible for Laura. It is up to you to see that she does not wander away and get lost. Responsible, Timmy thought. Dad said I have to learn to be responsible before I can have a rabbit. Maybe if I take good care of Laura, Dad and Mom will say I'm old enough to take care of a rabbit. Laura was a little more than a year old. She was just starting to walk by herself and she could say a few words. She really had to be watched every minute because she could get into all kinds of things. Mama put Laura into the sandbox and Timmy got in beside her. When Laura saw Mama hurrying away, she started to cry. Here, Laura, you may have this bucket, Timmy said kindly. He gave Laura the nicest bucket and the biggest shovel. He showed her how to scoop up sand. Soon Laura stopped crying and was a happy little girl. When Laura stepped on Timmy's farm in the sandbox, Timmy remembered not to hit her. When Laura got tired of the sandbox and crawled out, Timmy went along to see where she would go and what she would do. Soon Laura found a dandelion. She picked it up and wanted to put it into her mouth. No, no, Timmy laughed. That's not good to eat. Timmy ran to get his wagon and pulled it back to Laura. Laura stood up and Timmy lifted her into the wagon. Ride, ride, Laura said. Timmy pulled the wagon back and forth on the lane for a while. Then Laura was thirsty. Drink, she begged. Drink. She pointed to the pump on the porch. Timmy wanted to keep on playing, but he decided he had better give Laura a drink. He lifted her from the wagon and held her hand as they walked to the porch. Laura walked so slowly, but Timmy let her take her time. He pumped water for Laura and then for himself. By now, Timmy was tired of watching Laura. He wished he could be out working with Dad. He wished Mama would come in from the garden and take Laura to the house with her. He went over to the swing and sat there, trying to make himself go. Just as the swing had picked up speed, Timmy saw Laura toddling down the hill toward the pasture fence. I'm responsible for her, Timmy remembered. he dragged his feet to stop the swing, and soon he was running after Laura again. At last, Mama came toward the house. She looked tired, but when she saw the children, she smiled. "Thank you, Timmy, for taking such good care of Laura," she said. She took Laura to the house, changed her diaper, and put her in the high chair with a cracker. Then she quickly fixed dinner while Timmy went out to put his wagon and their toys away. After dinner, Mama put Laura to sleep. "I will go out to the garden again," she said. "You may rest here on the couch and quietly look at these books. When Laura wakes up, call me quickly." "Yes, Mom," said Timmy. He sat on the couch. He looked at every book in the stack Mama had given him. Then he lay down and fell asleep. "Wah! Wah!" cried Laura. Timmy sat up and rubbed his eyes. Where was Mama? Then he remembered. He got up from the couch and went to the door. "Mom!" he called as loudly as he could. "Laura's awake!" Mama came hurrying up from the garden. She got Laura, changed her diaper, and gave her a drink. "I would like to work in the garden for another hour," she said to Timmy. "Do you think you can watch Laura for me again?" Timmy wished he could go along to the garden. That would be so much more fun than taking care of Laura, but he did not argue. He just said, "I will try." Once more, Mama put Laura into the sandbox. Laura was cranky now and cried for everything Timmy had. Finally, Timmy gave up trying to make a farm and just played with Laura. He was pouring sand on Laura's foot to make her laugh when suddenly he heard a loud noise. Woof! Woof! Timmy got up in a hurry and whirled around. There was the neighbor's big, mean dog coming across the yard right at them. That dog was not even supposed to be loose. Timmy's heart thumped. He was afraid of that big dog. Once it had jumped on him and knocked him down. He wanted to run into the house and shut the door before that big dog got him, but he couldn't. He was responsible for Laura, and Laura couldn't run. Timmy was so scared that his legs shook, but he stood right in front of his little sister. "Go away, you bad dog," he shouted, waving the sand shovel at him. Here's a picture. The dog stopped, then came closer and barked again. Laura started to scream. Timmy almost jumped up and down in fright. "Go away!" he shouted. This time he threw his shovel at the dog. Mama heard the noise and came running to see what was wrong. When the dog saw her, he ran away. "Oh, Mom, I don't like that dog," Timmy said. He was crying too. "That dog will go home and stay there, I think," Mama said. "I'm finished planting now. I will take Laura into the house with me. You may do whatever you want until supper time." She smiled at Timmy. "Thank you for being such a good helper." At the supper table that evening, Mama told Dad how Timmy had watched Laura all day and how he had tried to chase that big dog away. "Well, well," Dad said, smiling, "I think Timmy is growing up." "Daddy," said Timmy eagerly, "do you think I'm responsible enough to have a rabbit now?" Dad looked at Mama, and Mama looked at Dad. "Maybe you are," Dad said. "We will see." A few days later, Dad went away. When he came back, he had not one, but 2 rabbits for Timmy. Timmy was very excited. The rabbits were so cute with their soft fur and long floppy ears. Dad showed him how to feed them and give them clean water. "Remember, they are your rabbits," Dad said. "You are responsible for them." Timmy smiled happily. He was going to try very hard to take care of his rabbits. He knew it would not be hard, now that he had learned to be responsible for other things. There's Timmy and his rabbit. I'm going to read our verse again, okay? Proverbs 28:20. "A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent." So, faithful, responsible, you guys are showing that you are by keeping your schoolwork up. I know it's a weird time right now. Some of you aren't used to doing your work at home, and those that are, you're doing a good job at still doing it. Keep up the good work, okay, guys? I love you and miss you. Bye.